As all, the Game Boy was a juggernaut, nothing to be messed with. It had competition, don't get me wrong. Everything in life will have competition. The Sega Game Gear was very worthy competition. It had one thing that Nintendo did not do up until the Game Boy Advance. Oh, Game Boy Advance SP, I should say. Backlit and color screen and color technology for games. But the thing is, the Game Gear, while it had those great things, it had a really shitty battery life. Like, the Game Boy could do lots more hours. I'm talking like maybe 3, maybe 4 times as many hours as the Game Gear. Like, I looked it up myself, and the battery level is a joke for the Game Gear. It's a fucking joke. Like, I feel bad for people that flat out thought, oh wow, I'm gonna get the Game Gear because it's not baby stuff. But my brother in Christ, that you got yourself schmeckledorfed like a common day fool for thinking the Game Gear would actually be a lot better than the Game Boy. Cause if we're looking at sales and games and longevity, it's a no-brainer. Sure, the lack of color is a downgrade, and yeah, but sure, it had a greater quality, but it wasn't really that well maintained. Second boss down, and gasp, it was an illusion. Up we go. 8 lives, thank you very much, because I am not sure if the number 0 counts in a game like this. But yeah, I'll at least just go back to my Game Gear spiel. Like, there were games on the Game Gear that I feel are pretty good. Like, a couple of the Sonic ones are good, like Sonic Chaos, Sonic Triple Trouble are good. Maybe Sonic Labyrinth if you want like a good puzzle game. Like, yeah, like I feel Labyrinth does get its flack because it does something so dramatically different for Sonic. And Sonic is not known for its puzzle game, for anything related to puzzles or labyrinths. And the only thing Labyrinth associated with Sonic is Labyrinth Zone, and people hate that noise. Myself included, because of how slow and tedious it is, and Sonic's ongoing lack of wanting to learn how to swim. But I feel Labyrinth is a good time for puzzle. Is a good time if you want to have like a nice, neat little puzzle game. Like, it's not too complicated, but it's not too mind-numbingly easy. It'll have you think, but it's a good time, I feel, regardless, for Sonic Labyrinth. Sonic Chaos, I feel it's a fun time. You know, you play as Sonic, you play as Tails, you have like rocket shoes that let you fly or whatever. And then Sonic Triple Trouble is Sonic Triple Trouble, and that game is fantastic. For Game Gear games. Aside from that, like Sonic 1, Sonic 2, I feel are fine. Sonic Drift. Yeah, Sonic Drift. I was about to say Sonic R. That was a big boo-boo. Big boo-boo on my part. And Sonic Drift 1 and 2 are relatively fine. You know, it was trying to cash in on the craze. Why did I say phrase? I'm trying to say craze of kart racing for for mascots, because Super Mario Kart sold like hotcakes, and so Sega wanted to at least do that same kind of thing for I will call mulligans on that one, because that is stupid. Anyway, Sonic Drift 1 and 2 are relatively fine in terms of games for racers. And then Sonic Blast looks like utter dog shit, and plays like utter dog shit. The reason why I'm saying this for Sonic Blast is because Sega saw what Nintendo was doing for Donkey Kong Country, and they thought, let's at least do what we did for Sonic 3D Blast on the Genesis and other consoles or whatever, and try to jam that into our Game Gear console. Valiant efforts. I will not deny that. I will not deny that it is a valiant effort. But my goodness, it is a visual nightmare. It looks like garbage. Like hot, steaming, dog shit garbage. Like, my goodness, man. You could not have made a worse looking video game. And the bad part is that it's the only one that actually lets you play as Knuckles. That's not Sonic Drift 2. Ugh. And the funny thing is that none of the Game Gear games involve Super Sonic, despite the fact that they all have 7 Chaos Emeralds in hand. Oh yeah, that's just my spiel about of how the Game Gear, well beloved, just gets dog-walked by the Game Boy and the Game Boy Color. And that although Sega was ahead of the game for the whole color and backlit screening thing, Nintendo basically mastered the form of quality and quantity for their main lineup. Because besides for Mario, you have Tetris, which is no introduction, it's Tetris. Your grandmother knows it's Tetris. The Zoomer babies know it's Tetris. Pretty sure Gen Alpha knows what Tetris is at this point in time. Because I'm pretty sure you'll find like 5 Skippity Toilet ripoffs of Tetris or whatever that sort. And then there's the juggernaut known as Pokemon. That sounds like hotcakes. Yeah. That sounds like hotcakes. Come on here. That sounds like hotcakes for Pokemon. And then there's other games as well in their lineup that proved to be beloved classics within the Game Boy lineup. That's not to say the Game Gear doesn't have anything good. No. Far be it from me to discount the Game Gear and its validity. But you gotta at least be objective with that whole thing, though.